Next, in this particular session, I kind of have my notes flipped up. Yes, actually, he is the Associate Actuary from Insurance Regulatory Authority, Kenya. This is Mr. Elias Omondi. He is here to talk about disruption is here. So which direction does one follow? Which direction are you going to take? Take us home, Elias, and show us the way that we should go. Thank you very much.
All right, this is Elias Omondi. I work for the Insurance Regulatory Authority. I'm an actuarial associate with the regulator, and my work basically is to assist in policy development and also providing some actuarial advice. But also I do spearhead the innovations within the regulator, and this particular event really gives us an opportunity to share. And I've been invited to talk about a topic that really communicates with my heart. So I want to go straight to the presentation, and maybe I just need to get my slides on. Right, so today I want to talk about disruption, and ideally, how do we realize digital promise? Now, one of the things that we need to appreciate is that the disruption is here with us. The only thing that we need to understand is what direction do we basically need to take. So just to look at what is really moving within these particular aspects, we've seen a lot of technology currently being adopted in the financial space, and this is just to provide a leverage towards companies really coming up with processes that will look into customer expectations, because customers nowadays do pull and push the products where they want them to be. And for companies really to be able to meet these particular needs, then they'll need to have a platform or some form of technology that will enable them really meet these particular expectations. Over and above that, we've seen a number of digital disruptors coming in within the sector. So the traditional players are currently being disrupted, and these disruptors are really looking into using the weaknesses that the incumbents have been having. And the weaknesses do come within areas of digital expertise, digital knowledge, and also digital platforms. So these particular disruptors are trying to really come in and see whether they can get some piece of cake that the incumbents have been having in the past. Now, interesting statistics. Over the last couple of months, and this is basically related to COVID-19, you'll be able to see a number of sectors that have ideally adapted digital processes, and what we can see is that the banking sector kind of is still leading within these particular aspects, whereby previously they had 51% users of digital that adopted digital aspects, but with the COVID you've seen around 21%. Ideally, insurance sector comes in, and we've seen reusers were around 27%, only 8% increase. That means that we need to do more as a sector to see how then we can provide or we can enable our customers to really adopt the digital aspects. Now, we need to disrupt the ecosystem. And one of the things that really comes in mind is that we know why we need to disrupt the ecosystem. The only thing that we've not managed to do is to know how. How do we disrupt this particular ecosystem? Now, we are basically forced or basically faced with what we call issues around financial inclusion. How do we ensure that people, communities, businesses are finally included within the financial aspects? We know very well that there are needs that needs to be met. We know why those particular needs need to be met, but how do we meet this particular need is something that we've not really managed to come up with. And there are a number of challenges that have been posed, and you'll be see that challenges that have been posed includes things such as policy and regulatory framework, the financial infrastructure, things such as do customers really have money that these particular people that are initially excluded, they have the money to really meet, to really pay for these particular services or to pay for insurance. Issues around protection. How do we protect these particular customers? How do we make them aware? Are they financial? Do they have financial literacy? How do we engage even the financial service providers? How do we coordinate and create that alignment? So there are a number of challenges that have been posed. The question that will come at the end is, how do we ideally provide these particular services? So insurance accessibility needs to be improved. We know that there is a weakness, there is a gap, there is protection gap that is existing. But the challenge is that how do we provide this accessibility? The value of insurance within the area of inclusive finance needs also to be further improved. We've seen a lot of traction around, I would say, the micro finance, such as banking and all that. But how do we also improve our presence within the area of inclusive insurance? Existing technologies also need to be further improved. We know there is some form of traction that we have seen in terms of technology adoption within the sector, but these need to be further improved to better assist customers in obtaining these particular products. So there are a couple of things that needs to be done. This basically leads me to my next slides, which is a puzzle. This is something that we have to solve. And one of the things that really comes in mind is the innovators. The innovators are always in a dilemma. And there are 4 things that you'll be able to see within this particular puzzle. The first thing is decision making. You'll be able to see that decision making and resource allocation processes are key to the success of established companies. And one of the things that they'll try to do is to come up with decisions that will not affect their well-being financially and also will not impact the status quo. So ideally, decisions are taken that are quite safe, not really giving a lot of cognizance to innovation and coming up with the new ideas that they need to adopt. The second thing is resource allocation. One of the things is that resources are quite scarce, and it will be quite difficult to decide how much resources you need to put in adopting new technology, in adopting and taking your products to the new markets. So ideally, save space in terms of the resources that are being applied. You don't want really to utilize a lot of resources that you don't know whether they are going to produce results. Also, customers. We always want to listen to customers, which is very good. You need to listen to existing customers. You need to listen to the customers that are already in your books. And the challenge that comes in places that how do we listen to the other customers that are not in our books? How do we basically resonate to what other customers want that these customers are never captured? Another thing is within a practice that you want to track the competitor actions, and this basically makes you to benchmark with them. So ideally, you might be benchmarking with a competitor that is not looking into the future. So ideally, we are in a dilemma. We want to ensure that we make safe decisions that will not impact the company at the end of the day. We want to ensure that the resources are well maintained. We want to ensure that the customers we already have are still listened to. And we don't really want to think about the future or the other customers that might be interested in our services. And also we want to continually listen to our competitors. Now, the choice is here. And the choice will look at a number of things. Do we really need to cater for existing customer needs? And also look at their future needs? And how do we do that? So we need to start to identify what are the current customers' needs and what will their needs be in the future? How do we adopt new technologies and how these particular technologies will answer the questions that these customers will be having in the future? The second thing is, how do we improve? How do we continually do and work well within the disruptive advances that is currently we are currently experiencing, and how does a company stay relevant. So you need to ideally be able to improve as an institution to stay relevant within this particular space. And over and above that, then this idea of innovation comes in, whereby now you have to comprehend the revolutionary core of these innovations and try to adopt this in the existing, in creating new products, new processes within your companies. And also, how do we use our management and board of governors in terms of prioritizing, developing, and setting capabilities that will enable us meet the successes that we want to see within the digital transformation. So visions and goals should be at the top of the organization. Now, I want to make a submission, and the submission is whereby now we are going to see where we want to be in future. So there are 4 things that ideally will be at your hands to look into and how to implement them. And the first thing is how disruption of an incumbent. And basically what comes in mind is that most of the time incumbents would want to introduce new products. And these particular products, you want to ideally see how they'll solve the existing market needs and kind of use some advances in terms of technology. The second thing is ideally rapid linear evolution, whereby you want to add new features in your products, trying to fill out the value proposition that the customers are providing. So ideally, you are trying to improve your products over time, dependent on the needs that the customers are providing. Another thing is about appealing convergence. You want to converge with your customer base. What do they want to appreciate? What do they want to see? And the last thing is completely reimagining your product. So ideally, what we want to see is that new customers, new markets that comes within a particular scope. So just to look at what you need to do within an insurance business, you have 3 facets within an office: the front office, the middle office, and the back office. And the first thing is that you need to look at how innovation and channels will push these particular future. So most of the time we look at growth, we look at marketing, we look at sales and distribution, but ideally there's more focus that needs to be given on innovation and new channels. The middle office needs to be transformed completely in terms of the operations, in terms of technology, in terms of the information that you collect. You need to have information that will give you more leverage on what kind of products you need to do in the future. And at the back office, how do you do your underwriting? How do you do your claims? How do you pay your claims? And how do you manage your assets? So ideally, quite important areas to need to focus in future. So as I conclude is that we need to reinvent. That means we need to adopt new ways of working in terms of shifting customer and marketplace needs. We need to have an industry that is re-emerging. And this really means that we need to have opportunities and create a value for this emerging ecosystem. That means that we need to consider deeply our role as insurers. And at the end of the day, we need to have reimagining, whereby we have to use speed and agility to reimagine the business models. I want to stop at that. And ideally, what really my submission is that we have a future that we need to do. Thank you very much. And